Okay, in this video, I'll show you how to create some really cool squeeze pages. Now, the first thing you want to do is get a better editor. Okay, the stock editor that comes with WordPress just has, your just H1, H2 headings and color. That's about it. Underline, bold. What you want to do is download TinyMCE Advanced and install it so you get better fonts, different font families, and highlighting and stuff like that. So just go to the plugins page and click Add New, and then we're going to search for TinyMCE. And there's two. I downloaded this one. It was a lot more complicated. The easiest one is TinyMCE Advanced, and you just click Install Now and then activate the plugin. And then under the Settings tab, you'll see the TinyMCE Advanced settings here. And this is very simple. You just drag and drop the stuff that you don't want, and then drag and drop the stuff that you do want. Now, what we need here is the font family. I'm going to put this right here, and this will give me like Helvetica, Impact, and different fonts. And then there's the font size. Those are the two that I want, and you can get rid of a lot of this stuff if you want to minimize everything on your toolbar here. And you can organize these so everything you need is close together. Like I can drag my text color and my highlighting color here, so it's all next to the fonts. And you can also, you can make really complicated tables and things like that. That's pretty much all you need here. We could also grab this horizontal rule, and we'll put that up here just so we don't get too much. All right, and that'll create an HR horizontal line at the bottom of your page if you want that. And another thing I like to do is stop the editor from, or stop WordPress from stripping out the paragraph tags and line break tags, because that enables me to use more advanced coding in the HTML editor. That's totally up to you. That's what I do. So save changes, and then when we go back to the pages and our test squeeze page, now you see you have the whole editor here. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start over from scratch. So we'll just get rid of all this. Okay, and I have a text pad, a little cheat sheet here. And what I'll do is I'm going to add this as the warning text that'll appear at the top of the page. So if we scroll down here, I have this warning text. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. And this is my headline. Just copy and paste that. Of course, you can just type this right into the editor. And then I have a call to action here. Okay. And then there's a privacy policy. Now this is optional. You can add this. Actually, you can add it to the Aweber form, or you can put this right below your form code, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But let's go back to the editor, and I'm going to center this. Okay, and then I'm going to make the whole thing a Tahoma font. Alright, and then I'll change the font size to like 36. Or how about 24 for now? And then I'll make it all bold. Okay, and then I'm going to make this red, or a shade of red. Okay, so you can add a hex code down here, and I just happen to know the hex code that I want. That's a typical darker red, but you can just pick one off of here if you want. And edit that. Okay, and now I'm going to underline this. All right, and you'll notice that when you make changes, the editor can't display it correctly, but it just reverts to the default, which is Times Roman. That will not affect the actual page. Okay, it'll just show it here. So if you click on this, it still says Tahoma, so don't worry about that. All right, so let's see. Let's make this italic, and then we'll highlight this in yellow. Okay, so you can do anything with this. That's why this editor is so cool. This plugin is very flexible. You can do a lot more with it than a lot of editors or plugins that do it all for you. So you just enter it into like a text box down here. You'd enter like your title or something like that, and then they'd format it for you and color it. This gives you a lot more flexibility. You can use any different font you want, different colors, and different sizes to make it fit your page. Okay, so now let's take this and we'll center it, and let's make this Tahoma and bold it. Alright, so this is everything that's going to appear above the opt-in form. And the other thing you want to make sure you do, pull this in here, is you want to make sure this is a one column squeeze page. Okay, one column is vertical, okay, it just goes straight down. Two column is going to be in a table side by side. So you do use that if you have like an image over here and then your opt-in box on the right. And I'll show you those next. But right now we want the one column squeeze page. And now we go down to the options. Okay, so this is where you add your autoresponder form. So let's take a look at forms in Aweber. All right, so I have a bunch of different forms here that I've created, and this is the basic form. And what I did there is, let me move this over for you. Okay, so you have your different templates here, and you have, there's hundreds of templates actually. If you go here, you can see there's hundreds of templates in each category. But we're going to look at the popular ones, and this is a basic form. So when I click on the basic form, it loads it for me, and it's unstyled load template. All right, this shows green here, but it's actually a regular submit button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the inputs, and you can see everything here. You got your body labels. Okay, the labels are name and address or email. So let's see. Put a star there. Let's say your name. Okay, and you can make this required if you want to. Okay, and then email. We'll say your best email. Little star there. All right, so we'll resize this. There. Okay, just so these are on one line. And then to get instant access, we want to make this big. And I'll put an exclamation there. And we'll change the font size to like 24 pixels. I'll move it to the right. Okay. That looks pretty good. Save the web form. We can make this Tahoma just to match. I have to go 36 and resize the form there. See what that looks like. Okay, and then when you go to publish, you just install your form and you take this JavaScript snippet. All right, copy and paste that here, and that is your form. Okay, now this is the warning text that will appear above this headline in a graphic, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then the YouTube video and the image URL, those are for the 2-column squeeze pages that I'll show you in a little bit. Now the other options here are your background color, the width of the page, and then a border would be like a solid border around the page, or you can round it and add a shadow, which is what I'm going to do right now. And I'm also going to add a big arrow. Alright, so let's go ahead and publish that. Update it, click View Page, and there it is. Now, there's a couple things you can do here. For instance, this wraps around, so you could actually make this form a little bit bigger so it's up on one line, or you could make all the text bigger so it fills up 3 lines. Right, so to do that, you would just, let's say we'll make this 730. Let's just make it 750. All right, update that, hit refresh. Didn't help. Let's see. Let's go 36 font. Update. There we go. Okay. And notice how your text fills up this box. If you have too much text, it'll run over. So you have to play with that. This is just exactly right. Also notice that, like I said, all of this text is Tahoma, not like what it looks like here. Alright, so let's see what we can do about this button. And the cool thing is you can update this in real time. And so we just go in here. Let's see if we need to resize this. And maybe put this in the middle. See if that helps. Click Save Web Form. Go back to the squeeze page. Hit F5, and that looks a lot better. Alright, notice how we have the rounded borders and the shadow. So if we want, we can go and just take those off. See what that looks like with just a plain page. Okay, and we can make the background white, which is FFF. Oops, FFF. There, now you have just a white page, and you've probably seen this before. Now let's say we want to make the background like blue, dark blue. And it's kind of purple. There's a light blue, something like that. All right. Okay, so now you have a blue background, and we want to add a border. Okay, looks pretty good. So there's a lot of things you can do with this. It's very flexible. You can play around with as much as you want. You can add different opt-in forms. You can get rid of the button or the arrow. So let's take a look at what this would look like with one of the fancy web forms from Aweber. Alright, so let's check out one of these popular ones. I'll click on this, and big red, small red. Let's go with the big red. Load template. Alright. Now some of these don't have the option to edit the text on the button, so you may want to go with one that does. Let's look at this one. Nope. I think I'd rather have sign up now than just sign up. So I'm going to go with this one, and you can add a header to it if you want.